It's interesting. I ran into a client at Print Hustlers and their big Printavo client, and he was telling me their GraphXSource team processes everything through Printavo from the time that the quote is made and the quote is approved. They pick it up and they process all the statuses, all the workflow through Printavo and all the art related stuff. And then it's just handed off at the point where they need to either run it to the embroidery machine or they need to print film. So basically all the production steps that go in between, you didn't even see any of that stuff because it's just being handled by your team and they're walking it through the production steps. So he can go into his job report and he can see exactly where all the jobs are. I just think it's remarkable that you work so closely with Printavo. Some of our customers are starting to use GraphXSource to build stores on InkSoft as well. How do you see customers using Printavo and GraphXSource? Like, what are the typical use cases for that?
And every shop kind of has their own different statuses. Typically, it's like, okay, pre-sale. Customer brings in a 72 DPI JPEG. GraphXSource needs to be redrawn. GraphXSource redraw complete. Once that status change, it goes directly to the GraphXSource artist. Hey, this needs to be redrawn. After the redraw is complete, we mark it redraw complete. Customer loves it. Now it's time for the proof. That sales rep or the business owner changes it to proof needed GraphXSource. Our team then goes and pulls whatever garment style, whether it's a G2000, places that vectorized logo on the G2000, places it internally on the branded proof to the shop, then attaches it to the Printavo order, changes it from proof ready to be sent, which usually automatically sends it directly to the customer. Once that customer approves that proof, it then notifies our specific designer, colors are right, go ahead and start the production file. We'll grab it based on the proof that we created, then start doing the production files. Once the production files are ready to rock and roll, they'll change that status back to GraphXSource production files complete, separation, digitizing, whatever it is, which in turn then notifies the shop owner, the sales rep, whoever is in that Printavo that, hey, the production files are ready to go to the press. So we obviously can't print the t-shirts, we can't embroider the garments, but that continuous flow continues instead of it reaching a halt.
I mean, that's the beauty of Printavo. The system makes it so seamless and easy. And the beauty thing about us is we're so familiar with the process. So a lot of people who sign up for Printavo, but then they get an artist with us and we'll do it for you. And then their whole world opens up again. Printavo is super easy. And then there's just some really cool features. The fact that the customers are getting text messages and can approve stuff on their phone at the grocery store, get the job paid for so they know it's good to go for production. So the power scheduler is such a big deal because my artists can peek at what's scheduled and make sure you always have steps a couple of days before you need them. It's so nice. The workflow is so great and it's been so good and makes my team, everything is easy. It's good for the clients. It's good for the shop. It's good for everybody. I mean, it's just a really powerful software. We've been loving using it. Printavo as the API connection, we can actually build out in Printavo where you can change the status and it'll place a la carte orders for you. So you can just pay as you go with us. You don't get that personalization with the assigned artist, but you can still automate the majority of your workflow. It just goes to our pool of artists, you get stuff back. So it's not as personal of a connection. You don't have the Skype channel back and forth or anything, but you can do a la carte through Printavo using statuses, automating a lot of it, just pay as you go.
When you're managing art departments, it can be very frustrating and you oftentimes get to be dependent on very specifically trained people. That person leaves the company, it leaves you kind of in the lurch. Hey, the get out of jail free card is GraphXSource. And I've done that with so many of my clients. And I noticed once you kind of get a hold of a customer, you don't lose them. And it's just nice for people to know that there's this incredible company out there with highly trained people that understand our industry, that can handle the whole production and art workflow, have great business ethics, are just good all around people. You're not technically still a small family business, but it always feels like you run like a family business. As a customer, I can't say enough positive things about GraphXSource and not only the company, but the people.